So now we're going to, given an equation, find the inverse function equation. And there are a few steps to do this. The first one is to replace the f of x notation with y. And it could be g of x or whatever of x. Just replace it with y. And then we're going to swap the x and the y because the inverse functions, that's what happens to every single point. So it happens in the equation as well. And we're going to solve for y and then replace y with f inverse of x notation. It looks like a negative first exponent, but it's actually the inverse function notation. So it's kind of a strange notation, but that just means this is the inverse function that goes with f of x. So here are some examples. So we have h of x, and it looks like it's got a cube root in it, and minus 3. So the first thing we're going to do in step 1, we're just going to change that h of x, the function notation, to a y. Then we just switch the x and y. And now solve for y. So adding 3 to both sides of the equation. And then we're going to cube each equation to get y out from under the cube root. Since cube and cube root are inverse functions, the y is alone now. Almost finished, just need to change the y to h inverse of x. And then we'll be done. So the functions can vary a lot, but the process, those 4 steps are always the same. Here's another example. Now we need to solve this for y. Y is in the bottom of the fraction and it's got to get to the top, right? So we're going to multiply the entire equation by y to get it up into the top of the equation. You could do a few of these things in a different order and still have the correct answer. Now I've got y's on both sides of my equation, and that's not good. So I get all the y's on one side and everything that doesn't have a y on the other. Factor out the y. Now I can divide everything by x plus 2, and I'm done.